Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry for the delay. I was getting set up here on my end, but I saw Roscoe Davis is ready to go, so I won't make you wait any longer. But how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are good. Got a lot to do today with y'all, so let me get this set up. Doodle-doo. And the first thing I want to do, because I've been waiting for this, I got my stickers in. So let's do a little unboxing, shall we? All right, let me go grab those. And get that set up there. Here's a page I'm working on. Let's check that out real quick while I go grab my stickers. Hopefully my volume is working. So I was testing out, now StreamYard, you can actually stream on your phone. So I was checking that out. I was trying to stream with my phone for the camera and then also have my tablet open and kind of do like a 2-video type deal. But my phone was kind of pixelated and the picture wasn't great. So I'm going to wait on that. All right, let's check it out. Mr. Box, we've got the box. So the Hellborn stickers I did open because when I got that box, there was a hole in it and I wanted to check it out and make sure everything was good. But there you have it. There is the Highborn stickers. Oh yeah, sweet. So I got a ton of these. Should be 3 packages. Here's the other ones. So yeah, so got these bad boys in last week. Like I said, there was a hole in the other box. I didn't know what it was at first. I was expecting it to be in kind of more of a rigid square box. So I opened it up right away and I was like, oh, that's my stickers. So check it out. They're nice and shiny. They're vinyl. And there is the Highborn. All right, so then the Hellborn, we'll grab one of those. These are sweet. So there you have it. Hellborn and Highborn. Dun, dun, dun. Cool deal. So I got those in. I went ahead and I put a sticker on the back of my phone because it was cool. So rocking it already. Got to find some other spots to put those. But yeah, so I got those. If you haven't seen the video, I posted a video for the bookmarks. I got a box of those. I should have kept one out, but I ended up rewrapping them. My kids are like, can I have one? Can I have one? It's like, man, I already put them away. I'm sorry. So I should dig those out again and unwrap them. But they do want stickers too. So that is that. So excited to have those. What's up, Roscoe? How's it going, man? So, real quick, something I did want to do, something I came across this morning. When I was browsing the book face, I found, let me screen share real quick. So if you've ever been wondering what exactly swiping is, I came across this morning. So this guy posted in How to Draw Comics, Flash, the fastest man alive, character design after Jim Lee, pencil by me. So as a fan of Jim Lee, it's not too hard to see that this is like, this might be inked, but this is all Jim Lee. And of course, if you search real fast and you go to Google, this is Bing because it's the default. But here is what comes up by a quick search on Bing. If you do Google, it's like in the top 10 that pop up. So he may have changed the angle a little bit, but that is an exact duplicate of a Jim Lee. So he's basically inking over Jim Lee, but he's taking credit for it. So This is what we call swiping, folks. This is taking something someone else drew, you know, recreating it identically or inking it, and then trying to take credit for it. So you can't do that. That is what we call swiping. So you have to be truthful. Characters design after Jim Lee. If he just said, I inked it after Jim Lee, fine. He's taking credit as the inker. He's not taking credit for the drawing, which is, is totally Jim Lee. So, if you're going to practice and you want to, ink over someone, that's fine. You can't post their artwork. He changed the background, all that stuff. But again, he's not giving credit where credit is due. If he changed a few things, and switched up the pose, then that is totally fine as well. But once you go ahead and slap your name over something and said, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this," I penciled it, and then the design came from Jim Lee. That's not being truthful. So anyway, people started catching on, and if you could read the comments and see what's going on. Agreed. The original Jim Lee piece has stones flying around him, a dust trail, and the lightning effect visually fast he's moving. Where's this guy's comment? Dun, dun, dun. Michael Ross, you are taking credit for someone else's work. Many times a penciler does breakdowns, which are very rough, and the inker fills in the gaps, tightens it up, and inks the final image, but the penciler gets all the credit for drawing. In this case, the original was very tight to begin with. You simply inked it and added nice background, which are certainly viable contributions. I'm not sure why you try to mislead the group. The character design was not after Jim Lee. It was Jim Lee's design. Had you taken that design and posed him differently, shading around or whatever, and kept the same style, then that would fit the description. Obviously, people here caught whatever you were attempting to do. If you're promoting this or trying to get a gig at a publisher, it would be rejected out of hand as being completely unethical, most likely. Give credit where credit deserves. Also, be honest with yourself about your capabilities. Otherwise, you might end up in a situation where you get a job and can't actually do it. Amen to that, Mr. Ross. And two, this guy's last name is Finch, and it's like, I'm sorry, dude, but Finch is kind of already taken. Can you be a little original and come up with something else? You can have Finch in it, but what about a P Finch? Come on, man. Just saying. Anyway, so that's my little tidbit on swiping. You come across this all the time, and if you see it and you notice it, call them out, because it's just dishonest. And people swipe my artwork, and it's like, come on, so as long as they're giving credit, it's fine, but you can't take someone else's work and not give them the other person credit. So I made a mistake once of when I did hold on, stop sharing. I did a Brett Booth drawing, and I changed it up a little bit. And actually, let me search for it real quick. I bet it'll show up. Give me 1 second. I can find it quick. And it's the Wildstorm Rebirth or Wildstorm Reborn image that Brett Booth did. And I liked it, so I took it and I inked it, but I changed it to like the character uniforms, or how they look that I liked, not using his preferences. So let me see real quick. Wildstorm Rebirth, I think it was, or Reborn cover, Brett Booth, and there it is. So, and if you pull it up, let me screen share again. Share, come over here. So if you type it up, Wildstorm Rebirth cover, Brett Booth, his is the first image. And so these are just his pencils. And you could see, classic backlash, and it's more of the updated image as well. See if I could zoom in a little bit. So, he kind of has a little different mask going on. He changed it from the 90s look, but it's, obviously his deal. Grifter has the old school, I don't even know what you call those guns. He's got a different look, more armored up, changed from the 90s, if you're familiar with that look. Zealot as well, totally different from the 90s look. So what I did is I took this, and how do I get out of here? Double tap? Nope. Okay, get out of there. So you go over one, boom. Here's my here's my inks over Brett Booth. And so what I did is I put my name and I did after Booth, after Brett Booth. So, but actually what I didn't know is that's even wrong in how I did that, because what I did is more of an ink. I just inked his work. I changed it slightly. If I changed it up a lot more, then I could do after Booth. So if I changed every character's design and changed a whole bunch more, then I could say after Brett Booth. But because I just took his underdrawing and basically inked over it and changed a few things, the correct way to do that would be, Booth, and then put my name as an inker. I could do that. So even though I did change some stuff, I didn't change enough, if that makes sense. So, I learned my lesson there. And again, because I tweeted it at Brett Booth and I was like, hey, check this out. Can I color this and sell prints of it? And he said no, because it wasn't original. I took his pencils and blah blah blah. And so he said he did it as I think a commission for somebody maybe, and so he didn't want me to do anything like that. So so that's that. But anyway, this is on my DeviantArt page. Really happy with how that came out. One of my favorite. I don't really ink over people too much, so or at all. I think this is my first time, so I was happy with how it came out. Changed some stuff, made it my own, and there you go. All right, so enough on that. I had to go over that because just a pet peeve. Mighty Geek Studios, what's going on? All right. So let me set this up. I am doing good, man. So this is page 28, and it's a glimpse into hell. So got the breakdowns, the roughs done, and I'm starting to just go over it with my ballpoint pen. What's up, Nighthawk Warrior? I got some stickers in, man. So these are my Highborn stickers, and the Hellborn stickers. Where'd they go? These rascals, they disappeared. There. Boy. Do. And there's the Hellborn sticker. So yeah. So I've been just starting to get things ordered up and ready for fulfillment, so that way when the time comes, I'm all set. So I got my bookmarks. I just have to do the trading cards, posters, and I think that's it. So, all right. Yeah. Hope you guys are doing good. My wife went back to work on Wednesday, and so that it's gonna throw a whole new wrench into the mix. Not to mention, I've been feeling a bit weird. My stomach has been all jacked up. My wife's too. We're just hoping we don't have the vid, but I think it's just some kind of stomach bug, but we shall see. But yeah. All right, so let me do. Oh, all right, got my handy ballpoint pen here. How is Shadow Sentry? Shadow Sentry is good. So, still working on pages. The latest page I could show you. Oh. So this is page 27, which I need to. This is page 27. Finished this the other day. Check that out. Dun, dun, some new characters. And then a little intro into the next page here that I'm working on. So you guys are not going to be surprised, but yeah. But an idea I had, something I'm going to do, is I want to do a contest. So I'm gonna post these two panels on Twitter, and you guys can add captions to it. And it could be funny, it could be stupid, it could be whatever you like, but the best caption is going to win an original piece of art from yours truly. So yeah, and since I just hit 400 backers, I thought I need to do something cool and fun, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you guys want to win a free piece of original art, then you can join in the contest. There'll be more information about it. I'll post it, send out an update and all that good stuff. But yeah, so that is coming soon. But as a thank you to the 400 backers, you guys can win some original artwork. So yeah, so I'm gonna do some drawing, guys. If you have any questions or anything, just shoot me your question. And if you want to talk about anything, let's talk about anything. Talk about something. Talk about anything. Whatever you like. So yeah, this page is shot into the depths and the bowels of hell itself, folks. Into hell itself. Which is difficult because I've never seen hell, so I'm kind of just making it up. But I hope that you know, hopefully the demons you know, think I give it justice. Thank you, Nighthawk. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for sharing that. I have not shared it out. I did order I ordered a new camera, so hopefully that should be here probably next week, but hopefully I can upgrade my setup and get y'all a little closer to the action here. So with StreamYards, you can now stream on your phone. So I did a little test run this morning, but the picture quality wasn't that great. So unfortunately, won't be able to do that. Sorry, I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi real quick on my phone. Oh, it got all blurry. Focus. Focus. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. So this panel, I'm trying to get going for a lot of depth, make it look vast and far back. This is a huge domain, and probably that would need to come off right here. So when I ink this, I'm going to be adding a lot more detail and such, but this, I'm just trying to get down my lines. Not really worrying about thickness or anything. This guy, this little demon eating something down here, he's going to be black. He's going to be in silhouette. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to ink this in the roughs. I'm going to ink this as if I'm just inking the highlights, like wherever the light is hitting, I'm going to ink it real thick. And then when I scan it into Photoshop, I'm going to take that and I'm going to invert it. So then everything that's black, real thick black, will become white. And then when I ink it for real, I'll actually just be inking, I'll be inking it how I originally intended to look, where all the really white highlights will be popping out real nice. So this is what you're seeing here is how is like the inverted version. So because I want him to be in silhouette because he's so far, you know, in the foreground. So that's what's going on here. So really thick, really thick. So the only thing is, if you're tracking with me, so if I make this all the black stuff white and I invert it in Photoshop, this will all be white and then this will still be white. So what I need to do is put some lines behind this so that way you get the contrast. So you see this is white, white, and then there's lines behind it and then it pops out the white, if that makes sense. Oh, no worries, Nighthawk. Do your thing, my friend. And yeah, just comment as you will. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. So if it looks funky, you know what I'm doing. Yeah, so basically, and then to pop this out, what I'd do is I'd kind of just add effects in the water, the lake of fire-ish thing that's going on there. Which technically, I think the lake of fire, I don't know if that's in hell or not. It will be later on, but I'm not sure if it is now. So that's just one of those things. We're just going to go with it. And so all of this, so this will be this will be white. Yeah, so in order to make this white pop, there's going to have to be some sort of lines behind it. So that way you can tell that that white is just all white light. So you have to picture like a spotlight right here, and then he's got really bright highlights. But it only works if there's something behind him popping it out. One of the things I say a lot is that it takes darkness to show the light, you know, in your drawing. So if you want something to be really bright, everything else around it has to be dark in order to make that white show up. So that's my philosophy. So got to pop out those whites. And if this is going to be white and that's going to be black, this is going to have to be like a gray tone, which we'll do with lines in the water to accentuate that white. Otherwise, it's all going to be white, and then the colorist is going to have to actually draw it in with his colors, which is something else that could be done in like post-production, basically, where after all is said and done, you could just go back over it in Photoshop and on a single layer, you know, do highlights where it's like you're actually painting, you know, white right there, and you could just go right over the inks if you wanted. So that's typically what I would do, but for this page, I want to try something a little different and see how it works out. All right, and then his teeth are probably going to be all white. So, but that I'll just do that in inks. So then, black right here. Something like that. So, okay. Hey, what's up? Hey man.
I'm just dropping this off, buddy.
Okay.
I tried calling it 929-5417.
Yeah.
Wow, it just went straight to a busy signal.
Oh, you know why? All right, sorry about that. My brother-in-law stopped by. All right, he had to drop something off, so yeah. I could probably do this quicker if I just used a thick black pen, but I'm just gonna stick with the ballpoint here. And it's important to remember where the light's coming from. I'm dealing with this. So this under here probably would not be white. Over here might have some white to highlight it. Not necessarily down there. So there's his arm. So doing it this way, I'm probably gonna have to change some stuff in the long run. Once I scan it and then invert it, I might see some things that have to be beefed up or whatever, which I can totally do. And then all these single lines, they'll become white lines, which I will mess with in the inks. But so there's that. You just got to picture it inverted. And then let me do this over here. Beef that up, beef that up. Yeah, it's kind of like if you've ever done, I don't know what it's called. It's the, is it the scratch paper? It's like all black and then you take something sharp and you just kind of scrape off the black. So you basically end up, you're drawing like with white, you're drawing highlights kind of thing. So you're kind of working backwards is from typically how, you typically draw on a white piece of paper with a black pen. Well, this is, you're like scraping off and drawing with white. It's kind of fun. Remember doing it in school a while back. So it's kind of a fun experiment. If you've never done it, give it a try. But I don't know if it's like accessing another part of your brain or what. It's always fun to access different parts of your brain, All right, so that's enough of him. Hey, come back. All right. Also, this guy is going to be in shadow. The back part, actually, I don't know. I might leave his wings light and then just shade. So if, this pool of fire is going to be shining and then all in the back of him will be black. So this, what I'm drawing here would be the highlights where the light is hitting him, and then this would all be black. All right, so kind of get an idea of what's going on there. So something like that. And then I'll always use, like if you see I'm kind of getting thicker here on this line, it's because the light, if it's shining here, you know, this part of the muscle will be highlighted and then the back part will be in shadow. So that's why I go thicker there. So be kind of shadow. Now, most artists, and I'm going to take out his tail. I thought that's too like cliche. I'm going to do away with the tail. Do demons have tails? I don't know. I'm going to do away with the tail. But anyway, most artists are going to draw with pencil. And so they sketch it out with pencil. I kind of do it a little differently. So, but if you think of artists, like go back to Leonardo and Michelangelo and Raphael and all those guys, you know, when they're shading, they're just kind of doing lines. And I actually have a book of Raphael. Let me go find it. Let's look at a real master. Let's look at a master. This is huge. Dun dun dun. Raffaello. So this is crazy. So this is actually a little different than what I was thinking. But let me see if I could find a good example. Look at that. How would you like to be the artist on that? I think Michelangelo would probably be a better reference for what I'm thinking. But okay, here's some rough roughs on a sketch. But this is kind of like what I'm talking about, but not really. But you'll see he's filling in the shadows with real quick lines there. So this would be like a quick breakdown, quick rough. And you can see where he's putting in all the shadows. Very rough, very quick. And then if you go to, all right, here's a little more finalized. You can kind of see what he's doing there. Here is a back. So if I was working in pencil, you know, it'd kind of look a little more similar, but it'd all be rough, and I'm just filling in lines, showing where the shadows are going to fall. You know, just roughing it out. Look at that. There's some good action there. That's good stuff right there. There's one picture I remember in art college, we had a copy of Michelangelo's, and it was like, I don't know if it was like David or some kind of statue he was doing, but you know, we had to like recreate his drawing. So that was cool. Because he used a lot of hatching and cross hatching, and you know, just really detailed, showing all the muscles and stuff. See what else I could find. Here's another one. Very, very nice leg there. So again, just knowing, you know, where your light's coming from. Here's your light. Shadow is over here. You know, the darkest part is hidden behind the leg. And again, I mean, he may or may not have been looking at a figure. Most likely, I think all these guys typically looked at, drew stuff from life, but you never know. Can't tell for sure. It says study of a figure. Yeah, there you go. Alba Madonna. So, you know, so they're looking from life. You know what I mean? They're not just making it up in their head, which is what we do mostly. So, some really good squiggles, breakdown, drawing. It's pretty cool, man. So That's cool. So this is like going all out on a drawing. This is something I don't do very often at all. King Crow, what's going on? We're looking at a true master. This is Raphael. And so yeah, this is, I don't know if he's probably using a few different leads. You know, you got your darker lead, your lighter lead. But that's how you really, if you're going to do a really, really good drawing, you're going to want to use, you know, different darknesses in your lead. So like you start with the HB and then work your way up. It goes to like 9B or whatever. And, you know, he might even be using charcoal, but anywho. So, but yeah, you're really working up the depth, you know, working up your shadows, going to the lighter pencil and stuff. So, but again, I'm working kind of like, I go from my blue line pencil, and then I'm not adding my shading in the pencil stage. I'm doing that here in my, you know, my final drawing with a ballpoint pen. So, and I don't really get super duper tight all the time on this, because I know I'm going to ink it, and in my head I know this is all going to be black. So, but for demonstration purposes, this area will be in shadow. And I might leave the wings just so they're colored and they pop out real nice, but I'll have to see how that works. But as long as you know where your light source is, you can, you know, figure out where the shadows are going to fall. And if I knew, like, you know, there's going to be something behind him that's lit up, you could do, you know, a highlight on the back end of him. This will be in silhouette over here, so their hand. So it's kind of, see, it's kind of coming together here. Yeah, so this will all be shadow. Yeah, if you ever want some good practice, go check out some of the Ninja Turtles, the Leonardo and the Michelangelo. They got some good stuff, man. And then try and like duplicate it, and it'll be good. It'll be good for you. That's why I love Jim Lee's stuff. If you look at some of his stuff today, his pencils kind of actually have a little bit of that Renaissance flair to him. He's got that good structure, and then, you know, he does those cool hatching lines, cross hatching, and it just kind of has a, to me anyway, has a little bit of that Renaissance flair. If you go, maybe I should do it. Give me 1 second. I'll try something real quick. All right, we're gonna go on a journey. There's a little close up of Mr. Demon Man. Yum, 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 yum. He's munching. All right, give me 1 second. Bum, 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 bum. We'll get this on here. Let's go on a little journey. Screen share. Share screen. All right. Jim Lee, Superman Unchained. Fold out pencils. if it comes up. This right here. Oops. This right here. So this one in particular, this is the first time I saw something at Jim Lee's, and I was like, that's got a lot of, it's got some, I don't like that. Come on. Can you just blow up that one picture? I want to look at that one picture. Come on. Open image in new tab. It's over here now. All right, so this was a fold out he did in Superman Unchained. And you can kind of see, I don't know, when I look at this, I could see like a total Michelangelo or Raphael. So in the one picture, I had to, let me see if I can find it. Probably gonna spell this wrong. Michelangelo drawing. Sketch. Let's just do drawing. Michelangelo drawing. Images from Michelangelo. So here's one in particular. It's not quite, I was thinking. The one oh, there it is right there. All right. So this one we had to recopy in college. So let me, yeah, see, I don't want all this. Just give me the drawing. Give me the drawing. This works better on a desktop. And it's really fine. You can hardly, can't really even see it that much. All right, so it's over here now. Okay, so this is really fine, but you can see right in here on this leg, that's a lot of, you know, hatching, cross hatching, right here on this leg specifically. So we had to recreate this, which was fun. And it's funny, if you look at this face, the face is all like quick and looks like a baby face almost, and then you got this huge masculine body. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so you can kind of get a feel for all that cross hatching and hatching he's doing there. You know, you got your darker areas. But yeah, so when I saw this from Jim Lee, I was like, that's, you know, kind of same deal going on there. So anyway, I appreciate that stuff. That is a man who loves his craft and obviously does it well. So Jim Lee's version on the Renaissance level there, in my opinion. But you can see how he handles his pencils, and then, man, Scott Williams has his job cut out for him, and he's got to ink all that and make that all black. And no one does it better, in my opinion. But there you go. So you kind of see, you know, behind the scenes, you know, this stuff here. This is his lats, I believe. But you know, it's quick, and just got the hatching going on there, and then he just builds it up. So yeah, good stuff, my friends. Good stuff. All right, stop sharing. Let's go back. Oh no, that's not it. There we go. Alrighty. So let's get back over here. So now, obviously, this image is more of like an establishing shot, and it's got a lot more background than it does figures, but kind of handle it in the same way, but my brain kind of processes it a little different. Here will be the cells. And again, I have no idea what hell it looks like, but I'm just trying to have fun with it here. Demon leading a bunch of people. This is all going to be silhouette. Either silhouette, or it could be just drawing the outlines, depending on how I want to do it. They're far away, so I'm just, you know, that, and the chains. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just making it up. But in my head, I know that this is going to be rock. So this is all going to be detailed. And as we go further back into space, this will be less detailed and lighter. So, you know, my inks will get lighter. The further you get, everything's going to get thicker. You know, these lines in the rocks are not going to be so detailed and as much the further you go back. And that's just a way to help with showing, you know, depth in your drawings. What's up close is darker. What's back further is lighter, kind of like atmospheric perspective. If you've ever seen a picture where, you know, you have the mountains, but then you have the midst or something, you know, and so as you go further back, the mountains get lighter. That's atmospheric perspective. And, you know, to create depth, you can do something similar in your drawings, and works very well. So it's that principle that the further you go back into space, the lighter things get, and the darker things are, you can make them pop out more. Things will get smaller as they go back into space and less detailed. This will be black. There we go. Cool deal, y'all. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I think this area will probably be more shaded. Another artist I really enjoy, Mark Silvestri. And if you look at his more recent stuff, he does a lot more lines, and he's a lot more rough, it seems, in his approach than he was back in the day. But it's got a really cool, you know, just building up the lights and darks with his lines and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Same kind of deal. What I was talking about before with Jim Lee and that kind of Renaissance-y kind of pencil look and stuff. But I think the more time, you know, the more time you could spend, and this is difficult for comic book artists because, you know, we've got deadlines. We're trying to do a page, you know, in a few days. You know, you don't have the time to invest, you know, a week or whatever into one single drawing. And so you're not like trying to build up every single rock and crevice and you know, go all like, what's his name? I was going to say Escher. It's not Escher. It's, can't think of it now. He passed away recently. But, you know, just like, super, super detailed. But the longer you can spend on a drawing, then the better it's going to look. As far as, you know, really building up your shadows and everything. In art college, you know, our assignments, they said if you're not spending like 4 to 6 hours on your assignments, then, you know, you're not spending long enough time. So they really encourage us to just, you know, obviously not have a life, but to really spend time on our assignments and not, you know, just kind of cut corners and stuff. So which was difficult in college, especially because, you know, everybody wants to just screw around and have fun. So it was hard, but somehow I managed to do both and have fun and get my work done and yeah. So, all right. So again, the main light source I think is going to be this pool of fire, and then, you know, I can have some of these further back tiers be like illuminated by light. So the pool will actually kind of be traveling through these areas here, but can I get the idea? A vast area. That's what I'm going for. Huge, vast. All right, so let's see. I'll draw more highlight. Oh yeah, he's gonna have little tiny wings. Forgot to do his wings here. He's gonna have little wings. He's like a baby demon. He's just a little guy. So he's actually going to be on the next page as well. He'll show up. And there's also a bigger demon, which will be fun to draw. All right, so there's that. This will be the flesh ripping off the bones and such. All right. So this will be thicker in inks to make it stand out more. And it'll look better against the thin lines of the shading. But this crack going through will pop out. If everything is the same line weight, then that's when things start to disappear. So see, by just bumping up that crevice, that rock crack there, it just kind of, you could see it a lot better. But if everything is the same line weight, things can disappear. And that's one of the things I probably struggle with a lot in my inking, is just to make sure that things are different line weights. And that way they can pop out more. And then too, if I want to, depending on how I approach this, if I want to go like real thin with my inking, if I want to do like a 2 or a 1 or a 0.5, you know, kind of mimicking what I'm doing here with the ballpoint pen. If I go in thicker here, you can see how immediately this just pops out. You know, so that just makes this little mound just like pop right out. And draw some shadow behind it. And again, remember, this guy's going to be all black, so this will be, you know, a focal point, and you know, he's looking out, so your eyes are going to just come across here and here, and it kind of balances out the page too, because I got the panel here, and then this guy here. He's going to be a big area to grab your eye, and then that. So I was going to do him here originally, but I was like, I don't want this here and then that there. So I kind of switched them over here to the bottom right. So that should lead your eye better through the page. And so also I'm going from dark to light with even my big thick blacks. I'm going really thick, and then I just kind of taper it. So kind of get that effect there. All right, so that pops out. That should accentuate that nicely, those two black areas. And if you, balance is always something you know, you want to try for in your pages as well. If you just have like one area that's like super black, depending, not every time, but it could throw off the balance of your page. But if you have like a few things scattered throughout your page that are dark, it'll help with the overall balance of your page. It'll kind of look a little better. And again, here we're going like super light to dark in the foreground. So hopefully that'll get that vast look I want to go for here, and just a lot of depth and all that good stuff. So that's why it helps to have a good colorist too, who can get that there. So I'm not sure if I want to do this guy up here hanging out of a cell, or like one of those, I don't know what you call it, but like back in the old days, you'd see them, you have like the skeleton hanging out of the cage or something, like in Willow, where it's just like on the side of the road in this like round cage. So I was thinking, all right, I'm going to put a dude here and like half his flesh is eaten off or something, and his legs are half gone. But I don't know if that'll throw off the balance of the page, because then I'm going to have this huge thing here, and then so I will have like 4 kind of focal points, 1, 2, 3, 4, but he's going to cover up a lot of this background. So I'm kind of torn. I'm not quite sure if I want to throw him in there or not, but might be a good I don't know, a very hellish looking thing in there. So I'm going to keep working on this and figure out what I want to do there, because I'm not positive yet. Dun, dun, dun. But if you have any suggestions, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. So then, all right. I have to draw a lot more people in here too. You probably can't see them, but there's a few in the blue lines. But so that's going to be full, and yeah, this might just be lightly shaded back here. Dun, 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 dun. Cool deal. Yeah, I gotta think about that. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Trying to think, let's say I do it, can I change it later? Or I could just ink the background, and then I can ink him on a separate sheet and just kind of overlay it and kind of get an idea in Photoshop, see if I like it or not. Decisions. Oh, and then also what I'm going to do is this. So this tower here, right? This tower, because it's getting further away from the pool, this tower will get darker. So this will be shaded heavily, kind of going down. And this will kind of lead your eye around the page better too, because then the black behind the panel will kind of make the panel pop out, and then it kind of leads your eye over in this direction. So this will be darker, and then I'm just gonna again do a little quick swoopity, give myself the direction I need for my inks. This will be over here. draw some shadow to show the light. And that would be very lightly shaded. And then I could do cross hatching to make it darker. And then again, tapering it down so that way it's getting darker, going dark to light. You can kind of see the effect that totally gives it. It pushes this back, makes this pop forward, and then also it brings your eye into this area right here. So that is helpful. That is helpful. And then this guy will be popping out. Dark to light, dark to light. Yeah, so the means of your shading, you know, as an artist, if the style, you know, it's a stylistic choice if you want to go, you know, how you want to handle your cross hatching. That's all just a style, you know, thing. But there's so many ways to do it. But if you understand the principle behind it, you know, that's helpful. So if you have a character and then behind that character you have lots of dark, it's going to make your character pop out. I think of if you could think of those drawings Jim Lee has done with like Green Lantern, and he's in space, and then you have he does all the whiteout effects and all the stuff coming off of Green Lantern. You know, that without that black, you know, the image would be kind of like, it's cool, but that just throwing all that black behind it, it just makes everything pop out. So knowing where to use blacks is very, very critical, very helpful, and helpful. So, but yeah. So when I get to inks, I will figure out exactly how I want to handle this. But you know, and I just got to figure out how dark I want to be at this point, and then that'll kind of tell me, like, do I want to go all black, or do I want to just use cross hatching lines all throughout and just kind of taper it down? And do I want to use square cross hatches? Do I want to use diamond cross hatches? Yeah. So there's that. Still don't know what I want to do for Mr. Guy in the Cage here. Not sure. Not even sure I like how I drew him. He's kind of like hunched over, but his legs are hanging out, and yeah. Decisions. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. My wife's got to run out to the store, so I told her I will not be on too long. So, and then, but last but not least, let me just do this here. This is a cone shape pointing downward, and so if I'm gonna shade this, again, knowing where my light source is, if it's coming from the bottom up, I'm gonna shade, you know, the side of it there, and that kind of, and then also I'm gonna, as I do this, I'm gonna go in the direction of the curve of this thing hanging from the ceiling, and then that'll also give it more dimension, kind of make it look more 3D versus if I just did it like straight. I'm gonna go with the curve of it, and that'll help make it look more like a cone shape, if you will. So, and then like that. So it's kind of like there's cells upon cells upon cells in this crazy dungeon hell thing I've created here. So, and again, going light here, and then I'm getting darker and darker and darker as we go up. Darker and darker and darker. And again, I'm kind of thinking as if this is my pencil, this is kind of like the rough that I'm doing with a pencil. This is my rough. I'm going to scan it, blow it up, and then I'm going to ink it. And then in the inks, I make my final decision as far as, you know, how I want to approach it. But we'll probably stick close to that, actually. So there you go. And then, so this is closer. So I've kind of, this is going to be darker, but the further you go back, that's all going to be in this back area. That's all going to be lighter. So, all right. So that is it for today, folks. Thank you all for hanging out. Yeah. Today's Friday. So I'll probably see you guys next week. And yeah, as long as I don't get more sick, pray for me and my wife. We're not feeling so hot. So hopefully we don't have the vid. But thank you all for hanging out. Till next time, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, just comment and I will be happy to answer. Or if there's any topics you want me to cover as far as art goes, need help in a certain subject or whatever, hit me up. I will do my best to give you my advice and my opinion. So appreciate it, guys. Till next time, peace out and God bless.